C 231, Laws of New Jersey, 1975. Notice of this meeting was advertised in the local source, the newspaper of record, and notice has been posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building adjacent to the municipal clerk's office. Roll call,
Mr. Vanavanga. Here. Mr. Johnson. Here. Mr. Graves.
Here.
Ms. Martins.
Here.
Ms. Scott.
Here.
Mr. McNeil.
Here.
Mr. Wiley.
Here.
And Mr. Champy is absent.
There being a quorum present, this meeting is declared open. I have approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the meeting minutes of September 20th, 2023, September 27th, 2023, and October 25th, 2023 be approved as written and dispense with their reading.
At this time, may I have a motion for the approval of the minutes from the last meeting?
Second, we already did.
Anybody?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So ordered. The first order of business tonight would be calendar number 3423, Union Solar, LLC, 750 Union Avenue, Block 2005, Lot 1, solar arrays on rooftop. Okay.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. My name is Bill Harrison from Genova Burns. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Union Solar LLC. We will have three, and if the board wants, we have a fourth witness. We have a representative of the applicant, Joshua Nislik. We have John Fossum, who's the electrical engineer who will testify about the solar array. We have Andrew French, who's our civil engineer, if you have any questions about the site plan, and we have Matt Flynn, our professional planner, to give the justifications for the variances that are required. And unless you want to hear more from me, I'll call our first witness.
Just for the record, the council, chairman, members of the board, I did mark A1, the application as it was submitted with your supporting materials, and I marked separately A2, the site plan, I guess it is, for the rooftop setup by Power Engineering. So I think there's two different versions of that. So A1 and A2 for the record.
Okay, I call Mr. Nislik.
Can the witness hear me? It's Rob Pansul, the board attorney.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Can I ask you to raise your right hand and swear or affirm that the testimony you're providing this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
For the record, could you state and spell your name with your business affiliation?
Joshua Nislik, Joshua I am Vice President of Business Development at Dimension Renewable Energy, the owner of the applicant Union Solar LLC.
Thank you.
Could you please describe the application here and then go into the community solar program that BPU set up?
Of course. So Dimension, we are a developer, owner, and operator of community solar projects. These are medium-sized solar arrays, much smaller than utility scale systems, but much larger than residential home systems. They go on industrial-sized warehouse rooftops, like the one we're applying for tonight. They are designed to expand access to solar energy to individuals who want to go solar, but they can't put panels on their home, either because they don't own their home, or they rent, or they don't have the financial resources to invest in a $1,000 solar facility. So the way that these systems work is we install it in a centralized location. We send the power back to the grid. We go out into the community and we sign up local residents who get a share of the power. So that system there will subscribe about 600 residents in the Union Township area and deliver to them discounted electricity rates, guaranteed 21% discounts. and half of the subscribers to the project will be low to moderate income residents. So this was created by the state of New Jersey as part of the Clean Energy Act of 2018. They created a pilot community solar program that awarded around 100 projects, and just this year authorized an expansion of that program, which this project is applying, will be applying into if approved by the board.
And why did Union Solar select this building for this facility?
Yeah, so we work with commercial real estate owners who want to make use of empty rooftops that they own and be able to benefit financially from leasing their rooftop space for solar energy and creating a positive impact in the community.
Okay, and does the owner of the building have any role in the operation of the system?
The building owner does not. So Dimension is solely responsible for constructing and operating the system. The building owner simply provides the host rooftop for us to operate on. All the electricity goes back onto the grid and supplies local residents. It does not offset any usage at the building.
Okay, so because the program is it correct, the program is limited to only residential uses, so you couldn't provide electricity to the building even if they wanted you to?
Correct.
Okay. And after you reached an agreement with the building owner, or as you were doing that, was an analysis done as to whether the roof could support this solar equipment on it?
It was. So we worked with a third-party structural engineer to evaluate the building and if it could be structurally feasible for solar. That engineer deemed that it was feasible. We also conducted an analysis of the condition of the roof, which was deemed to be also suitable and feasible for solar.
Okay. And what is the process by which residents can sign up for the program?
So Dimension has a very simple and transparent enrollment process. We will market the opportunity to subscribe to the community through a variety of channels. We have mail campaigns. We work with local nonprofits and community-based organizations to make the project and its benefits known. We also work with municipalities. So we received a resolution of support from Union Township earlier this year, and as part of that resolution committed to work with the township to help make local residents aware of the opportunities to subscribe to this project and save money.
Okay. And how frequently is it necessary to provide maintenance for the facility?
Generally twice a year is scheduled maintenance.
And if there are any performance issues, will a technician be sent to the property to investigate?
That's correct.
Did you read the comments from the fire department?
We did. All of our systems are fully compliant with local fire department codes and regulations.
Okay, I have no further questions for this witness.
Okay. Are there any board members that would like to question this witness on testimony he's given?
I do have a question concerning there was a question from Collier or a statement of technical comments on how you're going to provide that 51% of the renewable energy to low and moderate income subscribers. I don't think I've heard how you plan on accomplishing that requirement.
So first off, it's a requirement under the program, so they'll only authorize you to start operating if you can provide sufficient evidence that you've done that. How we physically do it is we partner with nonprofits and community-based organizations that have existing relationships with low to moderate income families and disadvantaged communities, because we know it takes trust to work in those communities and effectively educate them about projects like these. So our strategy, what we do, and we've already partnered with several organizations, Union College, Elizabeth Development Corporation, New Jersey Community Development Corporation, organizations that have experience and have access to a lot of the families who can benefit. That's who we partner with, and we have a partnership agreement to enroll those subscribers.
Is that specific to Union Township, or do you go throughout the county?
Our goal is to subscribe as much as possible from Union Township and the surrounding municipalities. So we have commitments to all of these partners that that's exactly what we'll do, and we have a commitment to Union Township that that's exactly what we'll do.
And I believe I heard this, I just want to affirm it, that Box Warehouse is using 0% of this.
That's right.
Renewable energy.
Our system is electrically independent from the building, so we're not in their electrical room. All of our equipment is on the roof and outside the building.
Okay. And the last question I had was the fire department's question. You stated that you're going to meet the requirements, and I believe on the plans I did see a width of path, but there was also a request about putting some signage around the building on the four walls. Are you committed to doing that also?
Yes, we are.
So
Are there any other board members that would like to question this witness?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Quick question, Mr. Nezza. Is this system monitored 24 hours a day?
It is. It's remotely monitored 24/7.
And to add to that, if there is a malfunction or anything, is there a technician or that comes out?
Yes, immediately. I mean, if it's down, that means it's not functioning properly and we're not generating electricity, so we get out as soon as we can.
So it's watched 24 hours?
It is, yes.
Okay, thank you. Hopefully.
Just for the record, too, Mr. Chairman and counsel and the witness, the references, the fire department memo was from October 12th of 2023 from Union Township, and as well as the Collier's report of October 20th, 2023, noted for the record. I'll do it to streamline it generally. Was there anything in either of those reports that you see as a representative of the applicant that you would have a problem complying with, or anything that is a cause for concern?
No, we've never had any problems complying with local fire department codes with our systems.
And Collier's as well, the engineers. I think the comments were rather technical, but nothing there that you foresee a problem.
I would probably defer to my technical colleagues to speak to that.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other board members have any questions? There being none. Are there any members of the public that would like to question this witness on testimony that he has given? Any other
Call our
witness?
next witness, John Fossum, our electrical engineer.
Can the witness hear me? It's Ralph Piansul, the board attorney.
Yes.
Can I ask you to raise your right hand and swear or affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
If you could state and spell your name for the record with your business affiliation.
John Fossum, John Fossum. I work for Hyde Renewables, Inc.
What was the company? I'm sorry.
Hyde Renewables, Inc., based out of Colorado.
Thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Fossum, can you give the board the benefit of your educational background?
Yes, I've got a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering.
Okay. And what is you gave your employer, what is your current position with that employer?
I'm the Director of Engineering for Hyde Renewables.
And how long have you been involved with solar projects?
Around 10 years, the last 2 years specifically with solar construction projects.
And about how many projects have you worked on?
About 100 solar projects.
Okay. And I'd like to qualify him as an electrical engineer specifically related to the installation of solar facilities.
I don't see any problem with that, Mr. Chairman. I think the board would adhere to those qualifications.
Okay.
Any questions from the board, or is that accepted?
We accept his credentials. Any questions?
Yeah, we'll accept the
Can you describe where and how the panels are located on the rooftop?
Yes, so we've also got this on the board, but so this is the address of 750 Union Ave. We'll have basically 12 subarrays broken up into 150-foot by 150-foot blocks, approximately. And that is actually to meet fire code. So there's going to be a total of about 5,700 panels split up into those various blocks. What you're seeing there is also the setbacks and the from the roof and then between arrays.
Okay. And how are the panels, how big are the panels?
They're about 45 inches by 90 inches, and they weigh about 70 pounds each.
And how are they attached to the roof?
They'll use the panel claw, Claw FR 10-degree tilt racking solution.
Okay. And is the design set up to avoid the existing HVAC equipment that's on the roof?
Yes, there will be 4-foot pathways to all existing equipment.
Where will the inverter be located? I guess we should explain what the inverter is and where it will be located.
Yeah, so the inverters, they convert the DC power from the solar panels to AC. They'll be located on the west end of this building. It may be hard to see, but there's some notations on the diagram there, which would be the left side of this drawing. Left is essentially west. The inverters will be located rack mounted at a 10 to 30 degree angle. And then power conductors will be routed to those inverters from the DC arrays. And then the AC conductors will then go down to the south end of the building, route underneath the parking area, and then to street level, where they'll then go to overhead poles.
Okay, and is there an existing public service line on Union Avenue that you'll connect to?
Correct. There's an existing PSEG overhead line.
And you will work with public service in terms of exactly where the interconnection will occur?
Correct. There's been an interconnection application submitted, but there's typically some back and forth with the utility to get the application accepted. And during that time, locations can move slightly, and the whole interconnection process gets formalized, finalized, and then accepted by the utility.
And just to reiterate, the line the line will go down the side of the building and then go underground through the parking lot to the utility line in the street where it
That's
goes.
correct.
Will the solar panels be visible from ground level?
They should not be from street level. There's about a 1 to 2 foot, it's not quite a parapet, but a ledge to the rooftop. The panels will be mounted at a height of about 12 inches, so from street level should not be visible.
Okay, and will the panels be installed consistent with all code requirements?
Correct. So, International Building Code, International Fire Code, and the National Electric Code, all as adopted by New Jersey, will all be adhered to.
And you've read the comments from the fire department, and you'll adhere to all, the installation will adhere to all those comments?
Correct, yes.
Do these facilities create any noise or any other environmental impact?
So the inverters make about 65 dBA. The ground mount transformer will make a similar noise, which are both below what is considered like around 70 dBs, would be any sort of hearing loss, or there is some noticeable noise, but it's quite minimal compared to other products.
And this building is largely surrounded by existing roads?
Correct.
Okay. I have no further questions for this witness.
Are there any board members that would like to question this witness on testimony that he's given? Are there
That,
any members?
Mr. Chairman, the Collier's report, I think the representative deferred to you. There's no problem complying. I don't think there was anything particular other than the permit process dealing with Collier's in finalizing the development of the project.
Yeah, there should be no issue there.
Thank you.
Are there any members of the public that would like to question this witness?
Okay.
And none-
Unless the board has any questions for the civil engineer, I'd like to move on to our planner.
I would think that would be advisable, Mr. Chairman. I mean, what's left really is the D1, D2 aspect, which is going to come from the planner and the civil engineer, unless any board member has a particular question of the civil engineer. I think the planner probably would be the final piece to what we're here for this evening. Does any board member have any questions of the civil engineer that they can think of, and then we can put them on? If so, we can obviously let council know later. Can the witness hear me? It's Rob Pansel, the board attorney. Can I ask you to swear or affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is the truth and the whole truth?
I do.
Just for the record, state and spell your name with your business affiliation.
Sure, Matthew Flynn, Flynn. I work with John McDonough Associates at 101 Gibraltar Drive in Morris Plains, New Jersey. I have my professional planner's license in the state of New Jersey, as well as my AICP license, which is the national licensure for planners. And I've testified before about 100 boards like this one across the state. My education comes from Rutgers. I have my master's degree in planning and public policy. That's about it.
I'd like to qualify him as a professional planner.
We'll accept his credentials.
Thank you, sir. So just to jump right in, basically the reason that we're here this evening is that rooftop-mounted solar panels are a permitted accessory use in the CI Commercial Industrial District. Because we're not providing electricity to the building itself, we're not considered an accessory use. We're actually considered a principal use, being that this is going to provide electricity to residents of Union and other municipalities. So having said that, we do need to request a D1 use variance. In this case, we are proposing what's known as an inherently beneficial use, so we're bound to the municipal land use law, which recognizes certain uses as being, like I said, inherently beneficial, or in other words, the value of these uses is inherent to the use itself. So from the municipal land use law, photovoltaic facilities are inherently beneficial. So basically the way we have to look at this D1 variance is to look at what we call the SECA test, which is a four-pronged test that's meant to simplify the statutory burden for these types of uses that we see the value in. And basically, so it's a four-pronged test. The first prong would be to identify the public interest at stake. Here we heard testimony from the applicant that this is going to be renewable energy that is going to make electricity and energy less expensive for low to moderate income residents. And also renewable energy and environmental sustainability are also core goals of the Union Master Plan. So I think that the public interest at stake here is just that. Prong number two would be to identify the potential detrimental effects that could ensue from granting this variance. In this case, the applicant again has testified that the use is functionally inert, just like accessory solar panels, which are permitted here. Visually, it's going to be the same exact thing. We heard that it's going to be essentially barely visible from ground level. It's only going to be about 2 to 3 feet above the roof. And we have heard that we're going to be compliant with all applicable fire codes and regulations. Prong number three would be to consider whether this board needs to impose any reasonable conditions on the proposal to ameliorate any detrimental effects. The land use law encourages an interactive process, which I think we have done at this point. I think the board has asked all the proper questions here, and I don't believe there are any outstanding issues. Prong number four would be to weigh the positive and the negative criteria, and on balance, whether the grant of the variance would cause a substantial detriment to the public good. In this case, again, I think on balancing, the clear weight of the test is on the positives, with all of those project benefits that were outlined already. So all of that just goes towards that D1 use variance. We are also requesting this evening a D2 expansion of a non-conforming use variance, which is a more relaxed test than the D1 test. Here, again, in the same sense as the Sika test, whether the use belongs here in the first place is irrelevant. The essence of the test is site betterment. Whether the proposed use makes this property better. And again, I think all of those project benefits, the inherently beneficial use with no impact, it enables the site to better serve the environment with renewable energy, enables the site to better serve the energy needs of persons with low and moderate incomes, and adds to the economic efficiency, viability, and value and stability of the property. All of that goes towards purposes of the municipal land use law, including Purpose A, promotion of the general welfare, Purpose G, variety of uses in appropriate locations, Purpose M, efficient use of land, and Purpose N, promote utilization of renewable energy resources. The flip side to that is the negative criteria. I would say that there's no substantial detriment to the public or to the zone plan. The non-conforming use is not expanding per se, and again, it's not a substantial departure from what would be permitted here, which would be solar as an accessory use. And finally, the intensity of the existing warehouse is not being increased. No additional traffic, runoff, utility demand, noise, or activity. And so with that, I would say that the positives substantially outweigh the negatives for the D2 variance. So all said, I think this is a pretty negligible application in the grand scheme of things. It's an inherently beneficial use, and I would say that the positives clearly outweigh any potential detriments on this property. I know it's a lot for a relatively simple application, but if there's any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Any board members have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do. The previous witness mentioned that there's going to be some sort of noise, okay? That will be well within the decimal limits of what is allowed by law, state, you know. I know that there's really not much residential there, but I just want to make sure that, you know, it's on record that it will be in the allowed.
Right, when I said there would be no substantial impacts in terms of noise, what I probably should have prefaced that by saying is that this is a remote location, remote from any residential, surrounded by roadways. So any noise that's being created here would have a negligible impact.
Okay.
Any other board members would like to question the witness? Any members of the public that would like to question this witness on testimony he's given?
Thank you.
You have any other witness?
I have no other witnesses.
Yeah, being none, Counselor, would you like to sum up?
Just very briefly, because I chair a board of adjustment in my town, and I don't know why lawyers sum up when you just, you know, in a half hour heard everything, but I think this is a beneficial activity that will benefit residents of the township and surrounding towns, provide cheaper electricity, clean energy, and over half the residents served have to be low and moderate income households, and it's a tremendous project, and I would urge the board to approve it.
Okay. Well, I believe we can conference this application at this point. Mr. Benavega.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Based on the testimony given, this application benefits the community to reduce their energy bill. It's also in a location that's not detrimental to the neighborhood, so I'm going to vote yes tonight.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I agree with my colleague, and I think it's a good project, and hopefully they'll concentrate on Union residents as much as they can to supply the electricity to them. So I will be voting yes.
Ms. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think this is a great project for the community, very positive, and the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, so I will be voting yes.
Mr. McNeil.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would agree with my colleagues that this is a very worthwhile project. With the sense of global warming that's going on around, I think this project, by just the fact that we're doing it, will contribute to reduce some of that. So I plan to vote yes.
Okay. Ms. Scott.
I agree. Good evening, everyone. I agree with my colleagues. I thought it was a very clean application, very positive. The fact that, you know, it's targeting low to income residents is, you know, a plus. And, you know, so I thought it was a very clean application, and the testimony was good. So I would also be voting yes.
Mr. Graves?
I also concur with my colleagues. It seems like a very strong application, and I'm supportive of the application.
And I too support this application. I think it's a good application, and I don't think there's any negatives that would outweigh the positives, so I'm going to vote yes as well. Mr.
Need a motion in a second?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, I'd like to move that the board grant the variance applicable to this application, and that council is directed to prepare a resolution consistent with the board's decision.
Second.
May I have a roll call?
Ms. Martins,
Yes.
Mr. Bentavegana,
Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Graves,
Yes.
and Mr. Wiley.
Yes.
November 29th meeting of the board, the resolution will be presented for passage.
I thank the board very much, and I appreciate you do things correctly. Not all boards do, with having the discussion of all the members, and it's always good when boards are good. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you.
I have a
Mr. Chairman, there
motion
being
to
no
adjourn?
further business coming before the board this evening, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that this meeting be adjourned. All in favor?
Aye.
So ordered.